My new book is called Juice, and a well-known publisher was going to publish it, but he said my cartoons weren't up to par. So I came over to the Cartoon Museum and studied cartooning. So if you want to see some of my cartoons now, go to sfgate.com. I have a blog there, and you can see a lot of cartoons there. I want to read from I'm always amazed when people call me doctor because I'm a high school dropout and a college dropout. Well, I was thrown out of college. But in 1995, they gave me an honorary doctorate and apologized.
That's right.
This is called confabulation. When he is their age, 92, will young people go through what he's going through? Will he accuse them of running away with the treble clef? Will he, in his wheelchair and waving his cane, shout, "You young'uns, come back here with the weather"? Will they have issues with people born in 1938, as he is having problems with people born in 1917? He doesn't know whether it's about the year or about him. Is it because his goatee and mustache resemble the Kaiser's? I'm glad that some of you recognize the illusion, because my students don't know who Harry Truman is. One says that he sold her brownies recipe and bought a mansion with the profits, with a butler and 5 maids overlooking a beach where all he does is sit around and paint the mountains in the distance, in between taking sips of wine. Quote, "I could have donated that money to my church's building fund," she grumbles. She says that he goes to the cemetery and gossips about her boyfriends to her husbands. And that's why each night he stands at the foot of her bed in tears. The other one says that the reason it was dark when they had the family picnic in the backyard was because he put the sun in his safe deposit box. The only cloud above the falafels and beer is her thought bubble. Okay, thought bubble. A blonde. This daughter didn't look Mediterranean like the others. She could have been somebody. Sitting on the Met board, a box seat at Lincoln Center, an original Monet hanging from the hall leading to the dining room. While her husband did hedge funds during the day, she would host charity balls at night, her jewels outshining the chandeliers. Instead, she married a creative writing instructor, a dollar per line poet. May I paraphrase Berta Gersten, who appeared as the mother in the film The Benny Goodman Story. Gefilte fish and collard greens don't mix. His mother-in-law saw movies at a movie palace, to which she arrived by taking the bus. He gets his from Netflix without leaving the house. He rented, quote, "The Kids Are All Right," about a lesbian couple that has adopted 2 children. That night he dreamed that a lesbian couple was going to adopt him. He should have known that there would be trouble when the social worker smiled and frowned at the same time. He opened the door and his new parents entered the room. It was his mother and mother-in-law. His mother's hair was cut short like Annette Bening's. He couldn't get back to sleep. This is another relative poem, the third person. It's relative. brother-in-law. He went to Los Angeles to become a comedian. Instead, he became a joke. This poem is entitled Myron. We have lunch at Spinger's, a Berkeley fresh fish grotto built on Ohlone bones and tall tales about marlins that fought for hours. Dining in this place is like dining on, quote, the Seahawk, 1940. But we aren't moving, but maybe we are. By the time we finish lunch, the Earth has traveled 6,500 miles. And I don't expect Errol Flynn in a pirate costume to swashbuckle across the floor, though Clark Gable once sampled the famous clam chowder of this restaurant where a Polynesian wood, quote, idol greets the diners. Carla and I are having lunch with Myron and Sona. I'm having blackened catfish. They fry their meals from shells. They stopped off in Berkeley on the way to SFO. He's on the way to Dallas, where he heads the Department of Physics. She's going to Santa Fe to inspect their new home. I overheard two shaggy professors, old, soft, and retired, argue about science in the men's locker room at the Berkeley Y. One says that science is only a method, and that science can't explain gravity. I can. Sony. She has what the yoga call Ogbon, more than wisdom. And not even chemo or infusions can come between her and her students. I imagine Myron as a youngster. While his friends are trading baseball cards, he's reading Einstein's and making experiments. In his parents' basement, his mom and dad would call these experiments explosions. We chat while all around us are forks turning over mussels and shrimp and oysters. He's studying applied biology because soon, he says, they will be able to swab the inside of your mouth and with the DNA collected predict diseases to which you are prone and prescribe medications. He says that the universe's speed is accelerating, and I read, quote, if the universe continues accelerating, astronomers say, rather than coasting gently into the night, distant galaxies will eventually be moving apart so quickly that they cannot communicate with one another, and all the energy will be sucked out of the universe. And I'm thinking, if this happened, what will become of my archives? I asked Myron about Michiko Kaku's prediction that time travel will enable a person's descendants to visit that person. Hong Kong scientists dispute the idea. They say that they have proved that a single photon obeys Einstein's theory, that nothing can travel faster than the speed of light. I think they're wrong because every time I talk to Myron, I feel that someone is visiting me from the future. This is my slate poem, Scrub Jays. Free as a bird, you wish, grounded and cross, old man, glaring from the kitchen window as I stab my beak into the choice apples at the top of your tree. You can ball your fists all you want. You can grit your plastic teeth, but there's nothing that you can do about it. What good are apples to old men anyway? You have lost your bite. You have run out of ladders to climb. Your ultrasonic solar-powered animal repellent, the Honda among dissuaders, might rid your garden of the Capo cats, but the raccoon bandits figured out that one within 48 hours. Getting rid of one pest only invites others. You're in your 70s and haven't learned that. Now that the coast is clear, our entire family can fly in. I know, we are warblers. We are born thieves. We'll steal an acorn from a woodpecker. We've beaten you out of your harvest. We are not the decorous fluorescent songbird of your dreams. This is a poem as told to. It's called Gustav. A scientist says that crows can recognize human faces. After he released those he tested in labs, they'd harass him whenever he took a walk. I guess that's why crows, they have frontal lobes. I figure that's why crows don't talk to me anymore. Strolling down the path of the Emeryville Marina, we used to be good buddies. They'd do 3 calls, and I would do 3. And then they would do 4 calls, and I'd respond with 4. But now they're silent. I must have said the wrong thing. I guess they're on to me. I guess they're saying among themselves, there goes that fellow who thinks he's one of us. I never got as close to a crow as Marlise. Her mother bought Gustav for 5 Swiss francs. He used to follow her to school and would perch on the tree branch outside her classroom. He'd stand on her shoulder when she went horseback riding. Her stepfather and brothers hated Gustav. When he flew into their bedroom window, the brothers smothered him with linen and laughed as he struggled. After that, the brothers were objects of his furious pecking. He'd tear out their hair. He crow-sacked the kitchen, broke dishes, covered himself with flour. When Marlise returned from Catholic school, she found that the stepfather had shot the crow. She never forgave him.